Hello?
Who the hell is this?
You got some content today? It's Saturday. Well, hello.
Shit, I wasn't expecting you today, Bubba. Yeah, I actually do got something for you. 10 seconds. It's back.
So I do put my faith in your hands. No pressure.
We'll just do one click for you, John. You only get one click.
Because
this is just a taste. Well, actually, this is the extreme taste version of what the F-150 is going to be like. Okay. This is going to tear up that F-150, but the F-150 is going to be like this, but just a little bit slower. So if you don't piss the seat in this car,
I did. Well, I'm glad that it did take a pee, you know, because nothing's coming out. I shit myself, you know.
He's like, I haven't went number 2 today, but we're about to find out how that's going to be all about.
Yes. So, do you want to start the story now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right
when you want.
Go for it.
It's already been recorded. Do you know me?
You gotta ask the questions there, John.
All right. So, question number 1.
Shoot.
What is the story behind this, and why is it memorable to the owner?
Well, if anybody watched the video of the build segment of this car was originally bought brand new from my dad and my mom. They bought it brand new off the lot. As if y'all know, I work at the Ford dealer. The Ford dealer that I work at, they bought it there. And in conjunction to that, we had the car for, I want to say 2 years or so. And then my mom decided to trade it in for a Bronco. Well, my cousin, who owns the car now, wanted the car. But like I said in the build video, he didn't want the car until it had a pretty much build like my F-150 did. The Whipple, the whole 9 yards, everything. So we built the car for him to go pretty much mid-6s and an 8th. And the car will definitely do that now. And he picked the car up. He's been driving the car in Oklahoma, terrorizing the streets in Oklahoma. I don't think he's been beating this car yet. So it's kind of like a tribute car, I guess you would, for the family's name, for my cousin, who's also, you know, part of the family, obviously. And he wanted to kind of keep the car in the family, but make it pretty much the Stowe's name as far as what we do with these cars. And to me, it's kind of a important car just because it is a family legacy kind of car, but it's just now like triple times as nasty as what it was when we first bought it. So it's kind of cool to be able to build something that I've seen brand new from day one off the lot to turning it into something that's what it is currently now. And being able to put my hands on it, put all the work and effort into the car was kind of something special to me because I was able to do that for my cousin and to where he, you know, is keeping the car in the family as well too. So
okay, I think that's good. Second question is, why are we driving it today?
Well, so when I built the car, I didn't really have a whole hell of a lot of time to do a drive segment. I've been waiting for the car to come back, which we'll top on that subject here in a minute, why it's back. But we didn't get time to really go do a drive video on it, which I've been wanting to do. Luckily, it came back to do some more mods, essentially, to require tuning and stuff like that, which I said we'll get into that in a minute. So I took the open opportunity now to go ahead and get an actual drive video experience, scare the piss out of you, and kind of see what, you know, what we built essentially in the shop, to show what, you know, the car's a performer. You know, it's not just a car we threw on the channel, built it, and never seen it again. So basically to give everybody the experience of what the car is all about.
Okay. Question 3. What has been done with the car to make it as is right now with all the goodies that you added to it?
So I guess a little catch up to speed of the car's build. If no one's seen the build segment of the car was a bone stock A10 5.0 2019 Mustang that I went in and I put a stage 2 Whipple on, headers, catted by Biden, catback, factor active exhaust. It's got MMR billet timing guides, billet oil pump gears and crank sprocket, some mild suspension work in the rear, a drag pack. What else did I do to this thing? And why it's currently down now, what we have updated to the car is we put a BMP booster pump on it. The car kind of had some fueling issues. The pump basically running low on amperage voltage. That's why I needed a boosted pump. It does have a Deutschworks 450 in the tank from Whipple supplied with their Stage 2 kit, but we just put a little bit of extra reassurance on the pump with the BMP boosted pump and did a little bit of that's why it's down now, like I said, to get the boosted pump on it and do some street drivability and some tuning for the pump, boosted pump added to it, and make sure the car was going to be dialed in for kicking people's asses up in Oklahoma, where it actually resides at. The car is, I feel, with the little mild changes that we did, I mean, there's not much there power you can make off of a boosted pump, but I feel the car is a little bit more crisp, a little bit more nastier, essentially more, you know, more across the board, smoother power range than what it was, because now to actually get down and just scare the ever-living hell out of anybody, especially with the very mild build the car's got. I say mild, I mean, it is, we call it, me and Chris call this the Stage 2, what we did when it came down the second time, because we did the Whipple the first time with just a stock Mustang, and then it came back, we did the guides, we did this crank support, we did a BMR tubular front K-member, suspension stuff to the car. So we essentially put it to Stage 2, Stowe's Performance Stage 2 package on this car, and it definitely woke this car up from the original Stage 1, which is the Whipple, and the Whipple calibration. And now that it's tuned on Lund's tuning, aftermarket or aftermath tuning from the Whipple, it's definitely a way nastier car than what it was in Stage 1.
Okay, so question number 4. Do you think he's going to add anything more to this? Make it more spicy, do a smaller pulley?
We've talked about it. We've gone back and forth, and we both come to the agreement that, I mean, he knows the car is fast as hell. I mean, if I were to butt down on this car, I would say the car is probably putting up north about 730, 720 to the wheels, and it's 730, 720, good power. I mean, my brother just currently got a 18 ZL1 10-speed automatic Camaro with cam. I'm not sure if it has head work, but the head's been off of it. It's had the DOD to lead. It's got a small, very small, mild camshaft, and pretty much a full bolt-on car. For if you were to compare bolt-ons to bolt-ons, his car is pretty much what this car is. And this car, I mean, it didn't go out there and slap him down, but this car did put about half a car on that Camaro with just what's done to the car now. So he knows the car's got plenty of power. He's not really pushing to go any faster right now per se, but we have been talking about doing a four fuel return style fuel system on it, E85, bigger injectors. The car should be up north about 800-ish, somewhere in that area, depending on what pulley size we go down to. We could get it up to 900, but he's in agreement with me knowing that, you know, the car makes some solid ass horsepower. It's, I mean, everything, you know, everything on this car works. It works like it would from the factory, and that's what he really cares about. I mean, hell, the first time we got the car done, he drove this thing all the way 4.5 hours from where he lives in Oklahoma to my shop after I got all of the Stage 2 done to just to drive it out here to hang out with the family. And that's more so what he's looking for. He likes a car that he can get in, has a buttload of power, and if it does get outran, then he's under the understanding that that's a fast car. That's a faster car if it outruns this car, because this car is very well put together with the modifications it's got. It's all in tune with itself. So he doesn't really actively right now want to have more power, but we have talked about putting more power in the car, just not right this minute.
Okay. It feels like just a standard GT.
Oh yeah, it's. I mean, with the way the car acts and reacts to power and the way it puts it on, dude, it's. I mean, you're about to find out. Like, you're about to find out, bro. This thing. It's straight boogies, man. Like for what's done to it, and I call mild bolt-ons. It's mildly extreme bolt-ons is what this thing has. But for what's done to it, man, it's a really impressive car. I mean, anybody out there that knows the basic, you know, mechanics of these cars and understands how to put together what this car's got on it. Anybody can have this kind of power and just be absolutely happy with the way they perform.
Ready when you are.
Let's see what makes some balls here. That was only 60 miles an hour.
That's a lot different from Jose's twin turbo GT350. On where with his and yours, this car, the main difference is you can feel it a lot faster, and it's, you know, there's no.
It's more. It's to me. It's like with Jose's 350. It's turbocharged.
Yeah,
So
that lag.
yeah, there's that lag there, and with this thing having the root style blower with the Whipple, it's instant. Like it's what the mod motor needs, which is why the mod motor's so down on turbochargers, because they don't have torque. They're not an in-block cam Chevrolet. I mean, Chevy has always had more torque than a Ford does, and with this thing having a root style blower that adds almost immediate torque, it makes the 5.0 horsepower up top screamer of the horsepower, but it also gives that down low, like, holy shit, here we go. This thing's on rails, and to me, it's going to be hard for me when I do modify the 650. Like, do I go Whipple or do I go twin turbo? Well, the twin turbo is the cool factor. It's like, oh, you got turbos. That is so damn cool. And then Whipple has gotten so good with these Mustangs, Ford in general, for that matter, mod motors, period. They've gotten so good with their kits and put them together, packed them so well. It's a hard toss-up to go, do I go twin turbo or do I go with a root style supercharger? And to me, it's going to be a hard toss-up. Like, I like the cool factor of twin turbos, but that's why we're going to get in segment one day eventually, when I actually pull my Camaro and actually put it in the shop and stop building everybody's cars, and I can actually get to my own. I'm going to have a build video of twin turbo in my 454, but with my 650, I think I'm more so leaning toward having this, just that nasty snap of torque from that roots blower, and being able to put it down to the ground like that. I mean, this car didn't spin back there. It hooked up really good. I mean, now granted, we just did a 60 to quote unquote 65 mile an hour pull there, but it does it now. Like, and it's like, holy crap, this thing is nasty. It's leaving so good, and the power is so smooth. It is. Across the board, it's tamed, and it's...
Transmission's nice.
And the trans tuning is awesome. Again, the boys at Lund have got that dialed the hell into where, you know, that's why we talked about, me and my cousin Chris, about possibly getting it dyno tuned. But man, the way the car pulls, the way the transmission shifts really good, it's kind of... why mess with something that ain't broken, you know what I mean? And the car is that. This thing does run and perform very well, especially for, like I said before, what's done to it. It's why would you want more, unless you're just actually freaking mental and want a 1,000 horsepower car to drive the streets. Me personally, I mean, more power is never a bad thing, but a 1,000 horsepower street car, in my opinion, is a little bit excessive, especially, you know, dude, 400 horsepower, a stock GT can get you hurt.
Yep.
1,000 horsepower Mustang, you better really know how to drive a car and respect the power when it comes down to that, because not just anybody's going to jump in this car and be like, I'm going to go rail this thing. Well, now you're in a tree and you're on somebody's t-shirt and like you're a memorabilia item now. So it's not something to me that's practical to have a 1,000 horsepower car. Me personally, would I have a 1,000 horsepower car on the streets? No, like, that's kind of why I just maybe thinking about doing a Whipple on my 650, because it should be north or around about this car, maybe a little bit more power from what the numbers I'm seeing right now that Whipple's come out with the kit for the 650. But if my 650 runs like this with just a Whipple and some exhaust, I'm done with my Mustang. I'm done, dude. If I can get my 650 to run this good, oh man, that's plenty of power. And if, like I said, if something outruns it or outruns this, that is a very fast car. It is the faster car, and I'm not going to be upset about it, because I know this car runs as good as it does. So I'm not mad. Like, that's impressive, guy. You can have that on the streets all day long. I'm good with my little 700, 800 horsepower car. That's more than enough. Like, the 1,000 horsepower range is what I'm doing with my Camaro. You know, like the twin turbos on the Camaro, that's going to be, you know, 1,100, 1,200 horsepower car on the where it belongs, in my opinion. I mean, I'm getting older. I'm a dad now. You know, it's like,
little bit
that
more
much power is a little,
responsibility.
yeah, it's not, in my opinion, a feasible thing to do in my mental to be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have a 1,000 horsepower car that I'm just gonna go rail down the roads. I'm gonna pass on that. I don't want no part of that crap.
Okay.